Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of Nighttime. I am one of your hosts, Maddie Glass, and in this week's episode, we're going to be handing out some midseason soccer awards, talking about the UCF Volleyball team, and breaking down UCF football's first loss of the season. Stay tuned because Nighttime starts now.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated chance, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back, okay? Always locked in, now I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.
Hello and welcome to Nighttime. I'm your other host, Tyler Brownrigg, and our guest for this segment, before I tell you what it's about, is Eliana. Hello, Eliana. How are you doing today?
Hello, Tyler. I am doing great. I'm so excited to be back on Nighttime talking a sport that he will announce now.
Fun fact real quick, Eliana was on the first ever episode I hosted.
Yeah, guys, I've been here since the beginning of Maddie's reign of Nighttime.
She is a seasoned veteran.
I am.
Yes, but we are going to be talking some soccer and midseason awards. We're going to start off with women's soccer. Women's soccer is currently ranked number 19 in the nation and are on a 5-game winning streak and are 3-0 so far in Big 12 play. And they have 7 regular season games left so far this season. So now we have 3 awards for you so far in the midseason. We have MVP, Breakout Player, and Defensive Player of the Year. So Eliana, I'm going to start with you. Who has been the MVP of this team so far through the season?
Yeah, so for my midseason award, I picked Ellie Moreno. She is a 5th year here at UCF, 5'9", close to here. She's from Winter Park, and I think she's just so much of a veteran right now that they really trust her playing in so many games. Previously, she scored her first goal of her college season less than 10 minutes after making her career debut. So the first game that she was put in, she scored her first goal as a freshman 10 minutes in. That's pretty crazy. This season so far, she leads the team with 5 goals. She has 22 shots, 13 on the goal, and she's played all of every single game thus far. She started every single game. Again, like I said earlier, she's a 5th year, so she's a veteran. We know that the coaches and the staff trust her to be able to lead the team and see how far they can go this season.
Yeah, I think she has been, I would agree, she's been very good in that leadership role, stepping in the void that Kristen Scott obviously left. But I think that's a great pick for MVP. So now, Maddie, my co-host, who is your breakout player this season for the women's soccer team?
I chose a little bit of a recent breakout player. It's Jessica McCullen. She's a redshirt freshman defender and got her first start against FAU and ended up starting the next 4 games. She actually won Big 12 Freshman of the Week this week, so that's really cool and a great opportunity for her to get some recognition. And she's played 136 minutes, and although she is a defender, she's not scoring goals, but she's holding down our defense, and our defense has been great. They've only allowed 7 total goals and has been really a big part of why we're on that 5-game winning streak and why we are now entered the rankings. So I think she is definitely a big part of the reason, and I'm excited to see what else she can do because she is a redshirt freshman. She's going to be here a while, so it's going to be really interesting to see how much she can improve. And I don't know, another person that's been holding down the defense is Tyler's Defensive Player of the Year. Tyler, who is your Defensive Player of the Year?
Who else could it be but Caroline Delisle, a human brick wall at the goal. She has been outstanding so far this season, as per usual. A 5th-year senior with 34 saves on the year. That's good for a save percentage of well over 80%, specifically .829. Which is the second best in her career so far in terms of saves. She's given up only 8 goals this season. She's giving up about .7 goals per game, which is higher than this is lower than her career average, but higher than she has been in the past 2 years. So a bit of a dip there in terms of that. But overall, Caroline Delisle has been this steady force on the team for a long time. A great leader and a great defensive presence, and just, as I said, a complete brick wall at the goal.
Yeah, and I want to transition into men's soccer now, who are ranked number 3 in the United Soccer Coaches Poll for the second week in a row. They lost to number 1 Marshall 1-0. Eliana, is there anything you can tell us about that game? What kind of went wrong for the Knights, or was it just they were playing a better opponent?
Yeah, I mean, as we know, Marshall's number 1, but it was definitely a very interesting game if you didn't see it yourself. The Knights did actually score a goal. It was just a very odd kind of play. Zayn Bubb basically came up behind the goalie of Marshall and kind of like did a little like slide tackle sort of thing, and then AJ Seals was the one who did seal that into the back of the goal. However, the refs took a look at the play and decided that they would take away that goal from us. And then Marshall did end up scoring in the last minute of the first half. So that kind of brought it back to the 1-0 final that we did see, which kind of was unfortunate. But again, we did see a lot of promising things from our defense. The two teams themselves combined 7 total shots on goal, 3 of which the Knights had, 4 by Marshall. And towards the end, the Evenet actually ranked within the top 3 of the nation in points per game. So our defense did look really strong. Our team does look really strong, and we can see that through the rankings. I mean, we've climbed up super fast, like Maddie mentioned earlier. We are really high up there in the rankings. And so was our women's soccer team. Actually, a fun fact is we are one of 5 schools to have both our women's and men's soccer team within the top 20. So pretty cool fun fact. But regardless, we do see that the men are really being aggressive on the field, and that's really starting to pay off. So I think we do have a promising rest of the season in store for us.
Yeah, and the defense, like you said, was really impressive. And I'll just go straight into my Defensive Player of the Year, who is sophomore goalie Juan V. Munoz. He's our goalkeeper. He only has 8 goals scored against him, 24 saves on the season, a .750 save percentage, and he even has 1 clean sheet on the season. So I think he's a huge part of the reason as to why our team is so good this season. You know, he's making those saves and cleaning up when the defense messes up. And then, Eliana, straight back to you. Give us the MVP. I think it's an obvious choice.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no other choice than Luca Dorado for MVP. He's a senior this year, and he really just is a presence on the team that you can even see in the stands. You hear people, like, shouting his name. He has so many awards throughout his time here. I could probably spend the next 2 segments talking about all of his awards. But this season, he has 4 goals, highest of the team, 32 total career goals, 8 shots on goal for this season. I mean, throughout his years, he's been named American Athletic Conference All-Rookie Team. He's really just had a lot of recognition within the league. He's also last season ranked tied for 8th for UCF career goals. So we can really see that, yes, he is a presence within the team and within the conference, and I think that that really is something that makes him an obvious choice for the MVP.
Yeah, no doubt. I think, again, like you said, it was an obvious choice. And then, Tyler, I know you've talked about this player a lot, but give us your breakout player for the men's soccer team.
My breakout player is the Finnish freshman phenom, Saku Heiskanen. He is a midfielder, and he's been playing very well in this early on in the season. He's gotten a lot of playing time as a true freshman. 5 total starts. He's played in every game, 2 goals, 2 assists. He is emerging as not only a leading playmaker, but shows a lot of scoring potential there in the midfield. And he also likes to play up, so he's more of an attacking midfielder, if I'm being perfectly honest. But Saku, I think, is definitely the future of this team, offensively and as a leader.
Yeah, I love that pick. Sorry, I wrote the wrong person. I thought you were going to talk about your guy, Emmanuel.
I was tempted, but I can't always talk about Bam. I got to give other guys the light.
But that's all the time we have for this segment. Thank you so much, Eliana, for joining us. You were great. And, of course, Tyler, you had some great takes. Now, going on to my Nyla, he is a running back who is a key part of the Knights' offense. Stay tuned when we get back.
So, Tyler Brownrigg, it says in my notes you're an Oklahoma fan.
That is correct.
So, let me ask you, bud. Is Texas back?
All right, I put on a brave face a lot, but this year, I'm really scared that they are, man. Okay, they just beat Alabama. They're gonna be top 4 in the rankings. And last year, they beat us 48-0.
Yeah.
It was humiliating. We're the Oklahoma Sooners. we were the best ever. We were talk of the town. We had Baker, Kyler, and Jalen 3 years in a row. And now, are we good? I don't know. We haven't won a national title since 2000. We're number 18, I think, and nothing matters, dude.
Sometimes we build up these walls thinking they're impenetrable. But sometimes you have to knock these walls down to build up bigger and stronger ones. And you got to be tough through that. It's hard being an Oklahoma fan at this time, but grass is always going to be greener on the other side of the hill, buddy.
Is it? I cannot live through a Texas national championship. I can't. I'll never recover.
Do you want to talk about Lincoln Riley?
What'd you just say to me?
I just want to know if you want to talk about Lincoln Riley.
You listen here, you court-ordered quack. You mentioned that.
Is senior running back Johnny Richardson, who has 289 yards on the season, is averaging 7.4 yards per carry, and had a huge 67-yard kickoff return in the last game against Kansas State. And now we have something very exciting. We are going to be talking UCF Volleyball, and we're here with Jana and Genesis, who are making their on-air debuts right now on Nighttime. Jana, Genesis, how are you feeling? Are you nervous, or are you good to go?
I'm feeling amazing. I'm excited. I love volleyball, so I'm definitely excited to be here right now.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity, and I'm super, super excited to talk women's volleyball with my friend Genesis. So, yeah, we can totally get into it.
All right, I love it. So let's just start off. We just went on a road trip, went 3-1 on the road trip. Jana, do you want to tell me how this road trip went?
Yeah, the road trip was super impressive for our women's volleyball team, especially being in the Big 12 now. We went 3-1 during this weekend trip. We played Cincinnati, Illinois, and Purdue. We won against Cincinnati and Illinois. Took a little bit of a loss to Purdue, but no biggie because our Cincinnati game was absolutely wild. I'm going to just go ahead and talk about my star player really quick. From this weekend, I like to highlight the fact that, we've had an incredible game just this past weekend, and I am really wanting to highlight Emily Wilson just because she is full of energy on the court. And she had impressive stats overall, but especially from this weekend. She had 24 kills, 6 service aces, and 8 digs just this weekend. But in total, she's got 151 kills, an attack percentage of 0.205, and her digs are sitting at 102, which is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I agree. Emily Wilson is a huge part of our team, and I did want to mention we are not ranked yet in volleyball, but we did receive votes in the last poll. So that is people are noticing, okay, we went 2-0 in Big 12 play so far, and, they're noticing that we're playing well, and we have a huge week coming up. But before we get into that, I want to, Genesis, I know you want to talk about Abby. Tell me about Abby Shomers and how she played this weekend.
Yes, Abby Shomers. She's an amazing volleyball player overall. I think she definitely carries a team. She is a redshirt freshman setter for the team. Right now with her stats, we have 513 assists, 101 digs, only 2 airs, and 20 kills. And then we have 12 service aces. And for a setter on the team, 20 kills is amazing. It's not normal to do that. So definitely amazing player all around. I would say she's extremely versatile, and she definitely carries the UCF team with her butter sets for sure.
Genesis, can you explain what that is? A butter set, you said?
Yes, so kind of just a set that doesn't roll around, it doesn't spin in the air. A butter set is what a hitter would want, so she can hit the ball easier. It's better for her to get a kill. So it's kind
of like a change-up in baseball. It doesn't really move, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then can you explain more of the setter's job? I know some of us know, but they're kind of like the point guard of volleyball. They play make, they get the assists. Can you explain that a little more?
Yeah, of course. So a setter is just the person that gets the second ball in the round. So she's setting it to outside, right side. She's setting it back row, anything. She's running all around the court, digging, getting those balls, making sure they're in the right place for the people to hit and just to get a kill. So she's assisting all of the sets for people.
And then, Jana, what do you think it says about a player like Abby Shomers, who is a redshirt freshman, that she is playing, and I know you said she's ranked in the assists per set or whatever. What does that mean for her and that accomplishment?
I think it's super impressive, especially coming in as a freshman with how good our volleyball team is. It's super impressive for her to even be ranked in general, but to be ranked 18th is absolutely incredible, and I think it has a lot to show as she grows throughout her time here at UCF, and she does continue to play for our team. It does show that she can grow, but she's starting off super, super strong with our team.
I agree. And then we'll just get right into Oklahoma. We play them next. We play them tonight and tomorrow night. Jana, do you want to tell us about Oklahoma this season?
Yeah, so Oklahoma just played this past weekend on the 21st, 22nd against the Texas Longhorns, and they did take a loss to the Texas Longhorns, actually. So that does look kind of good for us in tonight's game and tomorrow's game, just because, we are coming off of a very strong win. So, our girls are on a high, and I know our entire team, as well as our new coach, is on a high from this winning streak this past weekend. So the Oklahoma is 6-5, so it'll be our first home game during the Big 12 season, but I do have really, really high hopes for this upcoming game against Oklahoma.
All right, you two may not know this about me, but I am a big Sooners fan, and Sooners volleyball is not very good. I'm well aware of that. We're a softball and football school.
Another Texas L is coming soon.
No, they won't. But Oklahoma, they're one of the worst teams defensively in the Big 12, and they're going against such a high-powered UCF offense. This will not be a challenge. I'm torn in a way. I'm happy because, UCF will probably win, and they're top in the Big 12, competing with, BYU. But, yeah, Oklahoma's not good.
No, yeah.
Sad. And losing to Texas always sucks.
I definitely agree. I think UCF will definitely sweep Oklahoma out of the court. There's no chance that they're not winning today. I'm excited to watch that game for sure.
Yeah, I will be at both those games. Everyone should come out. It'll be the Big 12 home opener. So, I'm excited to see that. And then real quick, what do you guys expect from the volleyball team in the coming weeks, in the coming months? Do you expect us to, make the tournament, have a good season?
I definitely think we're going to do amazing. I mean, from right now, we're 11-2. I think that's we're doing extremely well. I think that just if we keep that momentum going and keep the good, positive attitude, and everyone should be just fine.
Yeah, it'll be really, really interesting to watch these games in the next few weeks. But I have strong hopes for the team. I know Ava Amer is also a freshman outside hitters just another freshman coming in super, super strong for our team. 5 out of her 6 season highs are from this past weekend. So high hopes for the team, high hopes for these incoming freshmen. So yeah, really excited to see where this leads us.
Do you see them overtaking BYU as the team to beat in the conference?
That definitely will be tricky, but I definitely think that UCF can make it there. If not, then probably 2 out of the 3 sets or 1 out of the 3. Anything will help. I think they can definitely try and do it.
That's all the time we have for this segment. Thank you so much, Jana and Genesis, for joining us. Tyler, tell me about your nightlight.
Yes, my nightlight, he is a defensive player, football team once again, just like Maddie's, but that's all I'm going to give you, and I'll tell you right after this commercial. If you cannot guess, my nightlight was linebacker Jason Johnson. He has been the quarterback of this defense, taking over for Jean Baptiste, who left this past offseason. And I think he's been great. I like what I've seen from him so far, both in coverage and in the run game. Hopefully, we can get more of his great play in our game against Baylor this week. But enough about that. Our guests for this segment to talk UCF football are Luca, making his nighttime debut, which is surprising to me, and Kirsten Blaylock. How are you both doing so far today?
Ladies first.
Oh, thank you. I'm so excited because I never get to talk UCF football, but today I get to. This is so exciting.
Shout out to Kirsten, last minute
sub.
Yeah, I've never been on Night Time before, so I'm pretty happy to be here. You guys used to see me on Bet's main show and stuff like that, but it's
Girl Talk?
Girl Talk as well. That's true. That was very recent, yeah, but I am a Knight, so it's
You're
nighttime.
putting on your college football jersey.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I gotta get one.
All right, so now into the content itself. UCF is coming off quite a tough loss to Kansas State. They lost 44-31. And now we're going to tell you about some of our big takeaways from this game. I'll start it off. And the big thing I need to see, or that I saw from this game, is our defensive line was horrific. We came in as one of the best rushing defenses in the country, top 5, and then proceeded to give up well over 200 yards to a running back no one's really ever heard of. And also, we couldn't really get pressure to the quarterback. Will Howard, he was having plenty of time back there. We've only got 8 sacks on the season. It's been very underwhelming, not many tackles for loss. But I know this defensive line can play better. It has talent, Ricky Barber, John Walker. It's a very talented unit. And maybe it's, first Big 12 game ever, Power 5. Maybe some nerves were in there and we're not playing the easy competition, but we're going to be playing some good O-lines throughout the rest of the season. Big one, Oklahoma, later down the year.
Real quick, Tyler, we were also on the road and Kansas State was coming off a horrific loss.
Yeah, so not everything great, but again, there's a lot of good O-line play here in the Big 12, especially from my Sooners. But now I'll throw it over to our guests. Luca, I'll start with you. What is your big takeaway from this game?
Honestly, one of the main things I noticed was just Timmy McClain. I think he's a very skilled quarterback. I think he has the raw prospect to be a decent quarterback. But I feel like a lot of it was just the play calling at the end of the day. I feel like the play calling was just not there where it needed to be. Gus Malzahn is currently not calling the plays, allegedly, but I wouldn't be able to tell the difference from last season. And also, I just wanted to say I'm very surprised our D-line was ranked 5 coming into this season, considering what Tajay Spears did to us last year. He absolutely destroyed us. It wasn't even fun. Watching that game was actually so depressing. So I can't believe our D-line was ranked that high. Kirsten, what do you think?
I mean, Tyler, you started by saying that it was a depressing loss, and yeah, it was 44-31. But realistically, for their first Big 12 game, this was our first debut into the Big 12 on the road, and it wasn't that bad.
And Kansas State, they're ranked. They're 25th.
Yeah. So, I mean, was the game, could we have done better? Yes, but we could always do better. But I think for things if they keep going how they're going, if UCF keeps performing, they're going to do well. And for my own personal record, they can only lose 3 more times because I said they were going to go 8-4. So I need them to get on the phone with me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I agree with Kirsten. It could have been a lot worse, given the circumstances that we were in. We were playing a backup quarterback on the road. Again, Kansas State was coming off. They were
in their revenge arc.
Yeah, they were looking for a win, and they had to get a win, or it was not going to turn out good. And then, so let's move on to our first home conference game against Baylor. Baylor's 1-3. They lost to Utah. They got blown out by Texas last week. I don't know. I think it's going to be an easy win for the Knights. But starting with Kirsten, can you tell us a little bit about Baylor's offense? What can we expect from them, and what do you expect from them?
I'll say it right off the bat. Baylor's offense is bad. They're averaging 20 points a game, which is last in the Big 12.
Yeah.
They've got 448 yards per game, 265 passing, 139 rushing. The 20 points per game, that. It's just we came into the Big 12 and I was nervous because I was okay, new league, big teams, and then you see numbers like this and it's okay, we could easily do this. So I have to agree with you, Maddie. I feel because their offense is bad and our offense is good, we're going to be able to put points on the board.
That's real football.
Let's just hope they don't run the ball. As long as they don't run, then we'll be okay.
If we score more points,
we do win.
Yeah, exactly. That's the goal. Score more points.
That math is mathin'.
Mm-hmm. Baylor is starting a backup quarterback as well, and he has not even been close to as good as Timmy McClain has. And Timmy McClain, he's been okay. They're starting for Blake Shapen, who's still out with injury. He has a 49 completion percentage and 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. So I don't know about you, Luca. Are you expecting big things from Baylor's offense?
Not at all. I'm not expecting big things from their defense either, because they stink too. The defense is allowing more points per game than the offense is even getting in total yards. Defense is allowing 26.7 points per game. They've allowed 784 yards all season already. They've completed. The defense has allowed 60 completions, and the offense has gotten 81. But it's the yards they're giving up. They're giving up 8.2 yards, the defense, per attempt. And on top of that, Baylor, like, they've just never really been known, like, notoriously as, like, a very good school. They were actually in a bowl drought for a very long time until their loss to Air Force. Wow, Air Force, because they're good. Yeah, they're great. Yeah, but they do have some pretty interesting prospects, like some pretty notable players that we could look out for. Gabe Hall, who's one of their D linemen, who is also, people always forget about him because Sakai Ika is their number 1 guy. He's a lot like Vita Vea, really big name on the Baylor team. But he's probably not even, I think the most impressive person we should look out for is the edge, Garmon Randolph. He was originally a tight end, but has definitely, like, shaped into his role, has been one of the best tacklers on the team. And he is literally a torpedo when it comes to hawking down the ball carrier. But I think other than that, like realistically, Baylor is not, like, they're not running in the same league as us. Like, it's not fair. Checkers and chess, apples and oranges, it's not comparable.
Listen, you say they give up over 400 yards per game. I say that's some great Big 12 defense right there. that's how it is in this conference. We're not used to that, but trust me, I know that. Yeah. I know what that's like, and I'm like, oh, they only gave up 30?
Wow.
Pretty good.
It's a great game. It's a great defensive game.
Pretty good day.
Tyler, can you tell us how you expect this game to go?
I expect this to be a win for UCF. Baylor is, I don't know what happened to Baylor. They were in the Big 12 championship game like not that long ago. I don't know why they're just completely falling apart in this terrible start to their season. I understand your quarterback's out, but UCF's run game, I think, will just absolutely dominate them. Will win at the line of scrimmage. I really enjoyed how creative our run plays have been this season, not just, with Bowser, it was just kind of power right, power left, and then Wildcat. But this time, we won a lot more jet sweeps, end arounds, reverses, and I don't think Baylor will be able to keep up with that.
Yeah, I totally agree, Kirsten.
I agree too.
I mean, I also feel like because we have the home field advantage, like, you see how those games get when we're all in the bounce house and people are like, yeah, going crazy. UCF just thrives off that energy. So having a team that they could easily beat based on skill alone and then having the fans behind them, it'll be an easy win for UCF.
Especially Baylor's 1-3, guys. Every game they played is at home. They played every game at home. They've lost 3 games at home. I think we'll be fine. It's their first away game of the season. So.
Yeah, I expect a big win. And now let's move on to primetime picks, which I did get a win last week. Tyler didn't.
No.
Kirsten and Luca are making their primetime picks debut, so they got to add to the guest record, which I believe is 2-2. But it's going to be number 10 Utah at number 19 Oregon State. Oregon State is favored by 3.5 points. Luca, Kirsten, who do you have winning this game?
Okay, so me personally, right? I'm taking the over. I'm personally taking over 45.5. My boy Jalen Glover plays at Utah. Shout out Jalen. He's a running back over there. But so I don't know, bro. Utah, like, they don't look horrible. They really don't look that bad. They look like an exciting team. Like, I feel like they just got a lot of young talent. They gotta, like, just figure out. And Oregon State, I feel like they're always in that conversation. They're always one of those teams where it's like you gotta look out for them, but you just never know what to expect from them, truly. But I'm gonna take the over at 45.5. And I'm gonna take the underdog here. I'm gonna take over Oregon State to cover the spread. I don't think 10 and 19. I don't think that's really like that big of a skill
so you're picking Oregon State to win?
No, I think they'll cover the spread. So I think Oregon State, if they lose, they'll lose by less than 3.
He's picking Utah.
Okay.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
He's picking Utah?
Just pick
Oregon State's a
who's
favorite.
gonna
Sorry,
win.
right?
Just pick who you think's gonna win.
No, I think Oregon State.
Okay,
Oregon
perfect.
State,
Kirsten?
I was going to say, because you said underdog, and I was like, well
they're the favorite. Oregon State.
3 points.
No, that's not. Yeah, I'm looking at number 10 Utah. Like what?
I'm also going to take Oregon State. Everything Luca said is so valid.
I'm going to take Utah before we wrap it up because, I don't know, Cameron Rising might play. Who knows? Tyler, who are you taking?
I'm also taking Utah. Cam Rising, they said he'd be back every week, but they've been great without him. He might be back this week. Who knows? Kyle Whittingham, one of the best coaches in college football, super underrated. Utah is going to win.
That's all the time we have for this week's episode of Nighttime. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to all our fantastic guests. We will see you next week where we have a very special show planned.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it it back, okay? Always locked in, I don't got time to lax.